السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في الكلام المجيد والفرقان الحميد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us our task easy and to open our hearts, because we are going through the message Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent, and through our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam we received, and it is our duty to understand and then act upon our life and also to spread it to others. We are concentrating on Surah Al-Muddathir, which is chapter 74. It has got 36 ayahs and 2 rukus. And Maulana Farai Rahmatullah mentioned, and I mentioned it last time as well, that he has found, he's the first one to notice this, that there are many of Surah of Al-Quran Al-Karim which are in pairs. And he gave some examples which are very common for us to understand. Is Al-Mu'azzatain is Surah Baqarah and Surah Al-Imran, and Al-Mu'azzatain, Al-Zahrawain is Surah Baqarah and Surah Al-Imran. Al-Mu'azzatain is Qul A'udhu Birabbil Falaq, Qul A'udhu Birabbin Nas. And Muzammil and Muddathir also are like pairs. The pairs is the major point is discussed, and there are two sides. And in one surah, one side is mentioned, the other surah, the other side is mentioned. And last time I mentioned that when you love anybody and respect anybody, when you address them, you don't call with their name. As I gave an example, if somebody's father's name is Abdul Rahman, the son will not call his father Abdul Rahman. No, he will call his father, oh my dad. And respect, show love and affection. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves and respects Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in Al-Quran Al-Karim, we never address Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam as Ya Muhammad. Okay? Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam's name Muhammad is mentioned in 4 places: Al-Imran, Al-Ahzab, Surah Muhammad, and Surah Fath. And one time it's mentioned Ahmad in Surah As-Saf. But in all the times when these names are mentioned, they are in connection with the Risala, his prophethood, not any connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to address Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, Ya ayyuhan Nabi, Ya ayyuhan Rasul, Ya ayyuhal Muzammil, Ya ayyuhal Muddathir. Other prophets he has mentioned, addressed them with their names, calling them Ya Adam, you will find in Al-Quran Al-Karim. Ya Ibrahim, Ya Musa, Ya Yahya, Ya Zakaria. These are all in Al-Quran Al-Karim. But as far as Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is concerned, to show the love and affection, he has not called him Ya Muhammad, but he has called him Ya Ayyuhan Nabi, Ya Ayyuhan Rasul, Ya Ayyuhal Muzammil, Ya Ayyuhal Muddathir. So Ayyuhal Muddathir is here, so we are concentrating on this surah. I'll give you a little bit of background of this surah. This is the early stages of revelation of Al-Quran Al-Karim, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is spreading the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to obey him, to worship him, to leave away all the idols which the Quraysh were in Ayyam al-Jahiliyyah worshipping. This message is going on, and the society of Makkah, the people who had knowledge or whose characters were good, they realized this atmosphere is very wrong, where people are doing zulm, injustice to poor and people, women, children, slaves, and so on and so forth. And the laws and rules and regulations were all wrong. And people realized, those few people who realized, they were looking forward for something to change this society. And their idea was to look forward something. And suddenly when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam declared this one, saying that we want to clear this society from all these evils, this is the better way to approach, rather than worshipping all these idols. Worship one God who is the creator of everything, and to leave away all this injustice. So this affected the children and youngsters of that time. They accepted Islam. And that was something alarming to the local population, thinking that what is happening, these are revolting against the things which was coming from ages and ages from fathers and grandfathers and their grandfathers and so forth. So they were alarmed. And they tried to stop it, but the people who accepted, they were very strong in faith. They say, whatever you do, you throw out of your house, we'll go. You take our money, you take our clothes, whatever. Musa bin Amr was one who was very rich. And once he accepted Islam, he was told to change their attitude. He said no. Then they said, okay, we'll take away all your money, your belonging, your things, and they throw him out of the house. He said, you do whatever you like. I am ready to sacrifice everything for what I have accepted. So this is the basic thing which happened. This was alarming for the Quraysh. So they said, they sat and then made a conference saying that what shall we do to stop this thing happening? And they decided, and Abu Jahl was the leader, and then they said that, okay, we are going to do this and this and this. Okay. In the society, the most important person of Quraysh, which most of us don't know, is Walid bin Mughira. He was the most important person of the Quraysh. He was the richest man in Arabia. He had 1 million dinar, and dinar are gold coins. Can you imagine? 1 million gold coins of that time in Quraysh. And he was the only son of the father, and the father was the only son of his father. And he, because of his ability, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him nema. And whichever thing he touched, that became gold. You know, Midas touch. Any business he went, he started prospering. So he was the landlord of Quraysh. He had hundreds and thousands of homes belonged to him, and they were on rent. So he was the landlord, richest person of Arabia. He had big farms and forest, and Allah rewarded him such that throughout his forest, all the fruits were coming throughout the year. So there was a season in October, there was a season in November, there was a season in April. All year round, the fruits were coming, different fruits were coming. And he had plenty of forest and land, crops and crops are coming afterwards. So richest man with fruits and with land, and then he was very powerful as well. He had 10 sons. Can you imagine? To have a son was something very important. And he had 10 sons. They were all fit and healthy. Because sometimes the children are there, some of them they're disabled, some of them are not talented. And so all these 10 sons were all fit and healthy. They were all talented. They were all knowledgeable. And they were all respectable in the society. Anybody saying that, okay, if this person is going to be the witness, we will accept his witness. So these were all 10 sons which were highly talented, respectful, and healthy, and they were all present in the front of Father to help him anytime he wants. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewarded with this one. I will just mention that one of his sons' name is Khalid bin Walid radiallahu ta'ala. He accepted Islam, and can you imagine how talented was he? He never was defeated any war. Every war he went, he was victorious. So and so, he came in front of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Battle of Uhud. He was victorious against Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Battle of Uhud. He was such a talented person, and he is the son of Walid bin Mughira. He just gave this one. So people approached and saying that Walid bin Mughira was also listening to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's recitation, and he was very much affected, and he came and told some people that I have heard the kalam from this person, and which is not the word of any human being. These words are very superior. It's about the humanity. And the people went and told Abu Jahl, saying that it looks that this person is going to accept Islam. He is affected by the words of Prophet Muhammad. Abu Jahl was a cunning person. He said, no, I have to do something. Walid bin Mughira has a weakness. The weakness was that he was very touchy, and he did not like anybody to make him lower than any other person in Quraysh. So he thought he was the highest, and if somebody says that somebody is more powerful, more wealthy than you, has more children than you, he has more property than you, more farms than you, that is going to affect him. So Abu Jahl knew this weakness, so he decided, he went to visit Walid bin Mughira one day, sat down in front of him very sad, and he said, "Oh, Ibn Hisham." Abu Jahl's name was Ibn Hisham. Yeah? Rasulullah called him Abu Jahl, it was not his name. Ibn Hisham, what has happened? Why you are very sad today? He said that, look, we are worried about you. All the people are sitting around. He gathered people in a place to sit down and say, I'm going to Walid bin Mughira. He said, so why are they worried about me? They said that you are going and visiting Muhammad and Abu Bakr sometimes. We think that the time has come that your farms are going to be ruined. You are going to lose your properties and you are going to be out of your wealth. So we think that you are going to Muhammad and Abu Bakr to get financial help from them when you need them in your old age. The moment he listened, his weakness came up. He said, who is thinking about this? I don't care about this person. Come on. And they said, come along and tell to this audience. He came along and people of Quraysh were sitting there. He said, look, Walid is come here. He is going to tell something. He said, what are you thinking about him? Then they said that we are worried about because people are coming from outside now. Hajj season is going to be there and they are going to come here. And if they listen to this man, they might be affected. And this thing is going to spread abroad as well. So we want to go and stop these people listening to this person. So there were about 50 or 60 people sitting in the audience. They said, this will be our task to go to the camps, people who have come for the Hajj, to tell them something so that they don't listen to Muhammad. They said, but we want to decide what we are going to say. They said, okay, just tell them that Nauzubillah is Majnoon, mad person. Walid said that, no, we have seen mad people. Mad people, they come with the movements of their hands, they are shouting, they are laughing or crying and making something abnormal. But we never have seen Muhammad doing things. They said, okay, we can't tell. Okay, we'll tell that he is a fortune teller, Kahin. They said, no, we have seen Kahin as well. They come and tell fortunes, but at the back of their mind is to earn money. Have you ever seen him sitting, telling fortunes and then asking for any money? He never asked for any help. Okay, you can say. Tell them that he is a poet and don't listen to his poetry, he is going to harm you. He said that we have listened to the poets as well, it is not poetry. You cannot, there is no lie in it, because the poets, they say all sorts of wrong things to have some rhyming in their verses. But there is nothing wrong and there are no lies in this. They said, okay, ultimately we think we are going to tell that he is a sahir, he is a magician. So at that time everybody told Walid bin Mughira, come on, this is one point, he said. And then he was very upset with what they said. Then he said, okay, we are going to tell them that he is a magician, but how dare he thinks that he is going to give me money in my old age. And then the way he came along, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala picked up some of his activities and mentioned in this surah. He came along and he looked at these people and he made a face and his eyebrows were brown as if you are insulting somebody. And then he made a face to show an insult and he turned away his face. He is saying like this. These are all actions he did and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala picked up them and mentioned in this surah. The reason I am mentioning all these things is that after this, somebody came to Rasulullah and revealed Rasulullah saying that there was a gathering of the people of Quraysh. Abu Jahl and Walid bin Mughira were sitting around there and they have discussed about this and they were telling that you are Nauzubillah Majnoon, a Shair, a Kahin, a Sahir, a magician. Ultimately they decided that the word Sahir and magician is going to be used against you to stop people accepting those people who are coming for Hajj. And Rasulullah was very affected by this. It hurt his heart. So once a person in Arabia is, if he is very, very sad or is affected, what they use to separate themselves from everybody else. They go to a quiet place and cover themselves with cloth over their head. Now, with the cold weather, what happens is when we are sleeping, what we do, we cover each and every aspect of our body, yeah, to keep ourselves warm. So this is to cut out from other people. That was one of the customs in Arabia, to cover their body completely with clothes. And Rasulullah did that, and he was lying, thinking about what these people are saying and what I am trying to preach. I'm going to save them from the hellfire. This is my intention, and this is how these people are reacting against me. And this is the thing which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala liked it, and he addressed Rasulullah, the person who is lying wrapped up in the clothes. So inshallah we'll start, and with each ayah we are going to go. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya ayyuhal Muddaththir, oh, the one who is wrapped up in the clothes. Hum fa'andir. Now after this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving 7 orders, one after each other in this surah, and these are all the ayahs going to come. So first of all, oh, who is lying wrapped up in the cloth. Stand up is one word, but the actual meaning should be rise. Rise. People who have gone for receiving MBE, OBE, something like that, the queen says, rise so and so, showing respect to that person. You have to rise in front of me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, oh, who is wrapped up in the clothes, rise, stand up. First order. Second order is hum fa'anzir. Anzir means warn. Warn the people. Warn. Warning is what? What is the warning? Warning is verbal warning. Warning with actions. Warning to have some impact on other people. And this warning is in the form of to everybody. First of all, to near and dear, who are closest to you, and then the locality, and the people living in Mecca, and the people who are coming as visitors, and the people of rest of the world, and afterwards, the rest of the world to the end through your people. Warning to be sent from your ummah to the other people of the rest of the world. This is one. Rasulullah, first of all, what he did, that is, if you go to the Tafseer of Surah Al-Lahab, he called one morning, he stood up on the mountain, and he said the words, Ya Sabaha. In Arabic customs, in the people of Quraysh, Ya Sabaha means a warning in the morning time, saying that, oh, everybody warn about the calamity coming in this day, that if somebody is coming to attack you, somebody is going to cause some destruction and calamities, people go on the top of the mountain and say, Ya Sabaha, Ya Sabaha. So people, when they hear, they run to join and to listen to what is the problem coming. When Rasulullah said that, Ya Sabaha, the people of the Quraysh said, who is calling, who is calling? They said, Muhammad is calling, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They said, oh, Muhammad is the truthful one who never lied to us. We should rush and listen to what he's saying. So people came, and somebody who was very busy, he said, I would like to send somebody to listen to what he's saying and come back and tell me what he has said. So all the people joined, even Abu Lahab was there, and then they said, yes, tell us what is the thing you are going to tell. He said that, if I say there is an army coming to invade you from the other side, will you believe me? They said, of course you believe me, you are as-sadiq al-amin. They say, I am warning you for something which is much more important. There is a day is going to come, the day of destruction. Everybody is going to be asked for whatever deed they have done. I am warning you to stop whatever you are doing now, except to the guidance I am telling. This is the guidance coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Abu Lahab and everybody said, this is what you called us? And then he said, your hands will be broken. Lahab. Yeah. Yada. The hands will be broken, and the Surah Al-Lahab came, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, not his hand is going to be broken, your hands are going to be broken, Abu Lahab. So this is the warning Rasulullah gave to his local community near and there. Then to the locality, he used to go to every door and knock and tell them, give the warning that prepare yourself for the day of judgment. This life is short, is going to end, and you have to be in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment. Then he sent the message throughout the people, throughout the world, to go everywhere. And this was done during the time of Khilafah. The people went to different parts of the world. And then this job is left for us. So we are also following this order of Anzir. It is our duty to pass this order and this message to other people. And this is going to be our duty, the duty of all the Muslim Ummah till the last day of judgment. Because the Ummah of Rasulullah, all the people living now after Rasulullah is the Ummah of Rasul Sallallahu. There's Ummat Ijaba, Ummat Dawa. Ummat Ijaba is the one who has already accepted his guidance, and the Ummat Dawa is the one who are still not accepted the Dawah. So it is our duty to give this message to the people. So this is the whole population now and before till the last day of judgment is the population in the Ummah of our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Although they are Ummat Dawa and Ummat Dawa. So this is the warning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us to do. Then the next one is وَرَبَّكَ فَكَبِّرْ, and then declare the greatness of your Lord, declaration. And this Dr. Isra Ahmad has given a lecture on this ayah only for 1 hour. How to do the takbir of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only by word. Takbir is, our salah is part of the takbir. There is no salah without saying Allahu Akbar before that. And whenever time comes, when things are happen, when things go, whatever you are expecting, something you are honored, something good happens, what happens? You say, Takbir Allahu Akbar, Takbir Allahu Akbar. Whenever there is a victory, the Sahaba and the army used to say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, this greatness of Allah. Who is the one who has given this greatness to us? Who has given this victory to us? So praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is telling by word, but telling by your heart as well. Accept that in each and everything, Allah is the one who is the greatest. Anything happening, everything is happening is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is His power behind each and everything which is happening. So in our heart. And then with our action also. If there is a time comes when, like I'm just giving an example of Fajr Salah. You're sleeping in deep sleep and the time of Fajr Salah comes. And your nafs is saying that it's cold weather, lie down, wake up, late, don't wake up, so on and so forth. So who are you listening to, your nafs or your conscious is telling to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So who is greater in front of your eyes, your nafs or your Allah? So this is what I'm saying, that in practical life, from time to time you are going to face a time comes when you have to choose between this and that. So at that time you have to choose that whatever Allah says, whatever Allah guides is to be taken out. Not whatever you think is superficial, beneficial for a few days for the world. No. So pick up the thing which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us. So show by your action greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the other thing is ultimately because Dr. Isra Ahmad mentioned about that greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, show it in the world also. To show that the constitution to be followed is from whatever is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not the worldly constitution which are made. So as far as the working of this world is concerned, follow the orders given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not the man-made laws and regulations. This is the thing which Rasul applied when he migrated to Medina. After settling down, after the period was there with the wars and said, then he declared Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's greatness and formed a government where Allah's command were to be obeyed and followed. The constitution of that part of the country was Al-Quran Al-Karim, to be followed word by word and each and everything you were. So this is the show greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not only with your word and your heart, but your action, and to implement this in your word. The third one is وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ, and then keep your clothes clean. The cleanliness is half of the iman. So keep your clothes clean means keep them away from the dirt. Wear proper clothes, neat clothes, nice clothes, wash clothes. There are a couple of points the Mufassirin has mentioned why this is mentioned, clean clothes. Clean clothes means cleaned from impurities, clean from dust and dirt. You know, people in monasticism, where people have left the world, they said we have gone towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In India, you see sannyasis. They leave the world, sadhus and sannyasis, and they are wearing orange type of cloth, and they never wash it. They say, why? We don't want to get into the worldly cleanliness and worldly things. We have left this world, so we are just covering ourselves with all dirty clothes, never wash them also. So this is also keep your clothes. Clothes means not to be like monastics, people who have left the world thinking that they are going to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also, don't wear clothes which shows pride. Yeah? Do not show off with your clothes that I am wearing something which you can't afford. This is the best thing I am wearing, and I have spent so much money to buy this dress, cost so much and so much. You won't be able to afford to buy this cloth and wear it. So do not show pride and so. And also to have one word they are uses by clean clothes means in our word in Urdu we say Pak Daman, that your clothes should be such to show that you have got a good character and good person. Pak Daman is by looking at you say that this is the person who has got pure clothes. And then the other one is وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ وَالرُّجْزَ فَاهْجُرْ, and then forsake uncleanliness. This is a separate ayah mentioned to avoid uncleanness. What is uncleanness? Purification. Purification is not only of your clothes, but your belief, your aqidah, yeah, your ideas, your character, your dealings, your deeds, so on and so forth. So that is a way of showing how your personality can be clean. So this is an inward of cleanliness. The outward of cleanliness was saying by mentioning the clothes, but there is an inward of cleanliness. This is وَالرُّجْزَ فَاهْجُرْ. This is another, this is, all these 7 orders are going around. And then وَلَا تُمْنَا تَسْتَكْثِرْ, and do not bestow favor with intention of receiving more in return. When you are giving the dawah to the people, if they are accepting, don't think that you want any reward for whatever you are doing. Yes? And make sure that you are not trying to influence people that you are something very superior. Yeah? Do not expect any returns from them, and all your deeds and words and actions should be to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is not to do any riya. Riya is mean showing off. You do something and you think that, okay, people will think I am such and such. I have so much knowledge. I have got such a beautiful style that affects the people and so on. So if you have that sort of thing, that is riya. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbids from the riya, because that's the worst sin. That is called shirk khafi, which is hidden shirk. And also, you may not have any returns, and you look at Nuh alayhi salam. He did the preaching for how many years? 950 years. And how many people accepted Islam? 80 people accepted Islam of 950 years of preaching. So, and he didn't think that he is going to do everything. His job is to preach and convey the message. But giving the hidayah is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so many times says in Al-Quran, O Nabi, your job is to do the dawah. Conversion is not your job. Conversion is from you. And this the most important example we have is Abu Talib. Rasulullah's very close uncle, loved him, and Rasulullah loved him. His intention was at least Abu Talib to accept Islam, but he did not accept Islam. So that was affecting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, you cannot convert people. Your job is just to convey the message. Our job is conversion. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not expect any returns for whatever you are doing. وَلِرَبِّكَ فَاسْبِرْ. And then be patient for the sake of your God Almighty. Observe patient, and people cause humiliation to Rasulullah. Say so many things. One example is Taif. Rasulullah went, they made fun of him. They started the children throwing stones on him to not only to attack his skin, but the skin was broken and blood was coming. This is the people of Taif, which they do. And then humiliation. To suffer and humiliation. The other example is Fateh Makkah. When Rasulullah came with 10,000 Sahaba, came to Makkah. When he entered, the people were in front of him. And they realized that now nobody can fight. Now everything is in order. He went inside the Kaaba. He threw all the idols out. And the people were standing in front of the door of Kaaba. When he came out, then suddenly said, "O Muhammad, what are you going to do to us now?" Because they realized what humiliation and calamities and torture they caused to the Sahaba who migrated to Medina. He said, not, and this is the common thing in the Quraysh and Arab. Once they are tortured, tormented, humiliated, affected, beaten, anything happens, when they come back with power, they take the revenge. And this was, they said, this is just, because we have done something wrong, so he can do something wrong to us, to be just. This is called adl. So they were thinking, now what's going to happen? So he came and stood in the door of the Kaaba, and all the Quraysh were standing. "Oh Muhammad, what are you going to do to us?" And he stopped for a little while. He said, "I am going to say the same words Yusuf alayhi salam told to his brothers. La tasriba alaykum al-yawm. There is going to be no reaction, no retaliation, no harm is going to come to you. I am going to treat you like my brothers. I'm not going to even mention what you did to the people to humiliate you." So this is again the sabr which was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to have patience. This patience Rasulullah practiced throughout his entire life. In the beginning, when the Taif was there, and near the end, when Fateh Makkah was there, he said to the people, "La tasriba alaykum al-yawm." I'm going to treat you as my brothers. فَإِذَا نُقِرَ فِي النُّورِ وَلِرَبِّكَ فَصَبِّرْ فَإِذَا نُقِرَ فِي النَّاقُورِ. What is the next observation? And then from this time on, the 7 commandments are given, the orders are given. Now, ayah number 8, 9, and 10 are about warning, about the hereafter which is coming, that is the day of judgment. فَإِذَا نُقِرَ فِي النَّاقُورِ فَذَلِكَ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَسِيرٌ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ غَيْرَ يَسِيرٍ. So, the day when the trumpet will be sounded, then that day will be the day of difficulty. It will not be easy for the infidel. So what is the trumpet blowing? The Surah. Israfil alayhi is one of the angels. His duty is just to blow the trumpet. And from his time of his creation, he is holding this trumpet in his hand. One of the end of the trumpet is near his lips. And he is looking at us for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's order to come. Blow now. and then straight away he's going to blow. So he's just waiting for the order to come. And this is the surah, when once this is blown up, the entire world will be destroyed completely. That is the day of destruction, the day of Qiyamah, the day of Jaza and Saza, whatever is going to happen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning in these 3 ayah that the trumpet is there, that's going to be blown, and this day is going to be very bad, very horrible to the unbelievers. I'll just tell in one of the books of Tafseer, it's mentioned this ayah number 9. فَذَلِكَ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّذِيرِ is going to be very difficult day, and this person's name is Zarara bin Abi Awfa. He was the Khazid, he was the supreme judge of Basra. He was present in one of the Fajr Salah, and this Surah Muddaththir was recited by the Imam. When he came to this ayah, the warning ayah, he shouted and he fell from his standing position and he passed out. Even in books of Tafseer that is happened. So whenever these ayah, we have to be very careful. When we listen to any ayah of warnings, we should have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fear of that day that is going to come. When the verses come about the hell, you have to fear about hell. You should not be unfearful. Do not say that, oh, we don't care, this hell is for somebody else. No, we have to think that could be, we might be thrown into hellfire. So that's why fear. Because Rasulullah went to one person who was very nearing the death. He went to him and said, how are you feeling? What is happening? He said, oh Rasulullah, I am fearing from whatever mistakes I have done. But I am hopeful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafurur Rahim, He is going to forgive. Rasulullah said that is the proof of the Iman. Al-Iman bayna khawfa wa raja. The Iman is something which is between the khawf and also hope. So you have to have fear of something bad happening. At the same time, you have to be hopeful. So whenever we go across any ayah of Jahannam, hell, and the day of judgment, we should have fear in our heart. But at the same time, when our ayah of Jannah comes and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiveness comes, have happiness and hope in your heart. Because Shaitan is the one who gave up all the hope. That was his called Iblis. Iblis comes from the love to root word, labasa yalbisu, who has lost all the hope of forgiveness. So you should never think that Allah is not going to forgive. You should always be hopeful that whatever I have done, I will repent, and I am hopeful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to accept my tawbah and is going to forgive me. So forgive me, that is very, very important part to us. So this is in these 3 ayah is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning. Then in ayah number 11, I am going quickly now. فَذَرْنِي وَمَنْ خَلَقْتَهُ وَحِيدًا. This is to do with Walid bin Mughira. Wahida means one. He used to say himself that I am Wahid ibn Wahid. I am the single one, born to the single one. And he was called Rihan al-Khuraish, the beautiful smell, purified smell coming from the skirts, outskirts from the Khuraish. He used to call him Rihan al-Khuraish. I think, and people used to tell him that he is the best person of the Quraysh, and so and so. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the person who thinks he's one of the one. Zarni وَمَنْ خَلَقْتُ وَحِيدًا. Leave me and him whom I created alone. The Mufassirin has given so many meanings of what the one means. That he is the one who thinks he is the one, and he is the one who is created by the one. There is nobody else. He is created by the one. And he is the one who is going to die and be buried as a single person. And he is going to be the one who is going to be created and he stand in front as a single person, not with the family. Okay? So there are so many meanings given in this one. And number 12 is وَجَعَلْتُ لَهُ مَالًا مَمْدُودًا. and assigned to him extensive wealth, given all the background of what he was, how wealthy was he was healthy, and he was a landlord, and so on and so forth. I have given so many things about them. وَمَحَّدْتُ لَهُ تَمْهِيدًا, and sons who were witness being always present before him. Number 14, كَلَّا إِنَّهُ كَانَ لِآيَاتِنَا عَنِيدًا, and made habitable for him his habitat. ثُمَّ يَسْمَعُ أَنْ عَلِيٍّ عَزِيزٍ, and made him habitable for him his habitation. And even there he hoped that I would give him more. He was very greedy. He wanted to have more and more. After having all this wealth, he wanted to be more wealthier than what he was. And ayah number 16, Kalla innahu kana li ayatina anida. By no means he offered opposition to our signs. When the signs were revealed to him, he was about to accept Islam, but he decided not to accept Islam. Sa'urhiqihi sa'uda, I will involve him in a severe punishment. Innahu fakkara wa qaddara. Now these couple of things are given, what happened on that day when he went in front. فقتل فقتل كيف قدر ثم قتل كيف قدر ثم نظر ثم أبصر ثم أدبر واستكبر فقال إن هذا إلا سحر لو يسر إن هذا إلا قول البشر سأصله سقر. And what happened is that he reflected and made a program. And what program he made? He said he decided to tell that he is Nauzubillah, a magician. So he be killed. How he made a program. Again, he be killed how he made a program. Then he looked. Then he frowned and made a face. Then he turned away, considering himself great and proud. Then he said, this is nothing but magic derived from the ancient. And this is nothing but the statement of a man. And the rest of وَمَا أَدْرَكَ مَا سَقَرْ لَا تَبْقِي وَلَا تَذَرْ لَوَّاحَةٌ لِلْبَشَرِ عَلَيْهَا تِسْعَةٌ عَشَرٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing about the hell. What is hell? I will make him enter the hell. And what will make you realize what is hell? It does not let anything to remain, not the despair. It will burn and darken the skin of the man. Over it are 90. Then once the people heard this ayah, the Quraysh said, what do you mean 19? That's 19 angels. And one of the person is very strong person. He said, I will deal with 17 myself. You people, all of you deal with the 2 of them. See how they will throw in the hellfire. We're going to fight and defeat them. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that is not meant, you don't know what the angels are. One of the angels is such that it says that if you walk from right shoulder to the left shoulder, it will take 500 years to walk. Can you imagine what will be the personality and position and height and power of that angel will be? So they are going to be 19. The explanation not given by Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam what 19 means, but the Mufassirin have given various aspects. They are saying that these 19 will be for different types of punishment. One is going to take away the skin. One is going to throw fire on your face. One is going to feed you with boiled water. One is going to put the pus and things like that in your belly. So they are saying that these different angels have got different part to play. This or not. But one thing that has come discovered, and they have mentioned it. This is, I thought I'll mention what I mentioned. That's number 90. Somebody said that this is another miracle of Al-Quran Al-Kareem, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned number 19, and they have expanded on this number 19. I'm just going to tell that people said that number 19, if you read Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, if you count the words, it comes as 19. And it says that if somebody is going to write a book, how he is going to have this thing behind his mind to have number 19 in writing this book. And they say, as far as the mathematicians are concerned, number 19 is the hardest number for the mathematician. And if you see, number 19 is the combination of the first and the last. If you see, the counting comes, the first number is number 1, and the last number is number 9. After that, if you add a 0, it becomes 10, 11, but these are all combinations. But the single ones are number 1 and number 9, and these are two joined as to make it 90. So this is a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They say that He has started Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which contains 19 numbers. And then they have done lots of things, that all the numbers of Surah are 114, and they are divisible by number 19. Okay? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioned in Al-Quran al-Kareem 698 times, which is divided by 90. Ar-Rahman is mentioned 58 times, which is divided by 19. Ar-Rahim is mentioned 114 times, is divided by 19. The word Ism is mentioned 19 times in Al-Quran al-Kareem. Surah Sad, it has got Sad in Surah Sad 152 times, which is divided by 19. And in Surah Shura, Qaf is mentioned 57 times, which is divided by 19. In Surah Taha, Ta and Ha are mentioned 346 times, which is divided by 19. In Surah Al-Qaf, Qaf is mentioned 57 times. And Surah Al-Noon, Noon is mentioned 133 times, which is divided by 19. Surah Alaq, it contains 19 ayah. And Huruf-e-Muqatta'at, we read, they are 19. And last thing I want to mention is, in Surah Tawbah, there is no Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yeah. This is the only surah which is started without Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. From Surah Tawbah, if you count, like Surah Tawbah number 1, and you count, if you count to the 19th, that surah comes as Surah Al-Naml, that is chapter number 27. And if you go into the ayah of Surah Al-Naml, that is on the 30th ayah, and it says Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So they say the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is moved from the beginning of Surah Tawbah, count 19, and you will find Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim there. So this is, I just mentioned because number 19 came to us. We are moving now quickly to rest of the ayah. This is mentioned about the hell, and the people said that what is number 19? They say, oh, we will deal with the 19. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that what you think the angels 19, you're going to fight them? No. He is going to explain what the angels are. وَمَا جَعَلْنَا عِدَّتُمْ إِلَّا فِتْنَةً لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لِيَسْتَقِينَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ وَيَزْدَادَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِيمَانُهُمْ وَلَا يَرْتَابَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَإِذَا مَرَضٌ وَالْكَافِرُونَ مَاذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِهَذَا مَثَلًا كَذَلِكَ يُضِلُّ اللَّهُ مَن يَشَاءُ وَيَهْدِي مَن يَشَاءُ وَمَا يَعْلَمُ جُنُودَ رَبِّكَ إِلَّا هُوَ وَمَا إِلَّا ذِكْرَى لِلْبَشَرِ. And we have not appointed the guardians of hell other than the angels. You don't know what the angels are. And we have not made their numbers but a trial for those who do not believe, so that those who are given the book may be certain, and those who believe may increase in their belief, and those who are given the book and the believers may not be doubtful, and those in whose hearts is a disease, and the infidels may say, what does Allah intend by this similitude? Does Allah leaves to astray whom He wills, and He guides whom He wills, and no one knows the forces of your Lord except He Himself, and this is nothing but a reminder to man. This is ayah number 31, finished. Ayah number 32, Kalla wal khamar wal layli is adbara wal subhi is asfara inna al kibara nazira lil bashar. No, but the moon and the night which it retreats, and the day when it shines, and the news of the hell extremely great, warning to man. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving, every day you see the moon, the sun, the light and the darkness, the day and the night, things moving around. So don't think this life is going to stay for you forever. No, as these changes are coming, there will be changes coming to you. And then this life will end, and then there is another life is going to start. This is, again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, warn them about what they are experiencing is this world. And warning to the man. And then
لمن شاء منكم أن يتقدم أو يتأخر كل نفس بما كسبت رهينة إلا أصحاب اليمين في جنات يتساءلون عن المجرمين ما سلككم في سقر قالوا لم نكن من المرسلين ولم يكن نطعم المسكين وكنا نخوض مع القاعدين وكنا نكذب بيوم الدين حتى أتانا اليقين. So what's happening now? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the same time is saying that this is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whenever He wants, He is Nazir, and at the same He is Bashir also. So as far as the believers concerned, He is going to comfort them. So these few ayahs to comfort the believers, saying that, okay, you don't have to worry. You have accepted me, you are going to whatever I am telling you, and you are going to do ibadah for me, then there are good tidings for you to come. You are going to enter the place which is a peaceful place forever. We are going to reward you in this place. So that every soul is held in pledge security for that which is earned. Life is given to us as a responsibility, and that's why in Surah Al-Mulk, تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. We have been sent to this world to see what you are going to earn in this world. This is an examination hall. You have to work hard to gain, to be successful or failure after this examination. So we have to go through this examination. So this is an examination hall for us. Except the companions of the right hand. Who are the companions of the right hand? On the day of judgment, the deed of our deed is going to be given on the right hand to the people who are going to enter the paradise. And to the people who are going to enter the hell, that deed of Amal, Nama, Amal is going to be given in the left hand. And this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying that, oh, the people who are going to have their deeds in their right hand, this is all happiness for you. The gardens and enter the gardens. So the details of the Jannah are not given in this. Only one thing is mentioned, that the people, once they enter the paradise, they are going to meet and greet each other. And then they're going to sit and talk to each other. At the same time, they will say, okay, those persons with us were there who did not accept Islam. What happened to that person? This person, so much wise and had so much wealth and this and that. Say, what happened to that person? They are going to talk about this, asking each other about those people, criminals, who did not accept, who were bad. What has brought, then suddenly they are going to be visualized. Now, with this scientific discovery and what things are going to happen nowadays, we are going to use those benefits to understand these verses. Now, we use Skype nowadays. What is Skype? And the computer. You see that person and talk to that person. That person is away from you and you are away from that person. But this is going to be like a Skype which is very high. It is like about 10 feet or 20 feet high Skype in front of you. And you are seeing these people in Jahannam being burned and going through the torture. And they used to be in company of you when you were in the world. So they are going to suddenly speak to them. Oh, what happened to you? How did you enter this place? I thought you are very wise. You had so much good knowledge and you had so much wealth and you used to guide us and tell us about what is good and what is bad in the worldly affairs. And how could you enter this place? Why did it happen? Then they will be sad and put their heads down. They are going to tell the reason why they are here in the hellfire. 4 points. One is that we did not perform the salah. The second is we did not give the zakah. And said that we used to say all sorts of wrong things and we were in the bad company. This is the 4th thing. But the salah and the zakah came after Rasulullah. The salah was given in Mi'raj. So this is the last part of the stay in Mecca, and the zakah was made compulsory when he entered the Medina. So this is the early Meccan period surah. So what is about the salah and zakah? This is salah means obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? To accept whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying and to work on whatever the guidance is given. And the zakah, to spend and look after the poor people. This is to do the sadaqah, to do good deeds, to show people what you are doing. This is
when people are in need, not to make fun or look down upon them, but to help them when they were in need. So if you have got anything, use your abilities to help others, to share whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you in the form of ni'mah. Either it could be the wealth, it could be the knowledge, it could be your power, it could be your influence. You can use all these things to help people who are in need. So they said, we were not performing the salah, we did not give to the people. So in regard about the criminals, what has brought to you in this hell? They will say, we were not of those who offered worship, and we did not feed the poor, and we used to involve ourselves in idle talk. These are, the talk means is the harmful things coming from your tongue. To say lie, to say something to hurt other person's heart, to do ghibah, to humiliate people. So all these are all bad things coming from the heart. So this has something which has brought to them in the hellfire. Abu Bakr Siddiq used to hold his tongue and say to people that, look, this is the thing which can take you to the Jannah or Jahannam. People might be doing good deeds, but one bad word from your tongue to hurt a person, that can take you to the hellfire. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is noting and observing everything you are doing. If you hurt somebody with your tongue, that is going to be counted on the day of judgment. So be careful about lying, about hurting people, about doing the ghibah. The ghibah is going to take away all your virtuous deeds. This is a warning from Rasulullah on so many hadiths. So we did not, and we used to involve ourselves in idle talk with those involved in idle talk. This is what happened is, you know, the Yawm as-Sabt, the people of Musa al-Islam were punished. For what? Because they were sitting in the company and they decided the fishing of on the Saturday there are lots of fish are coming, they are not going to be catching, but the next day they disappear. So they said, okay, we are going to have some big pits around the lake and the shores, so that when they come on Saturday, they are going to be trapped. On Sunday we are going to come and kill them. And there was people sitting in them. Some of them, they said, no, this is deceiving the Lord, this is deceiving, the orders come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not going to take in part, and they went away from it. But some of them, they were involved and some did not involve. But those people sitting in the company and supporting them who are doing these things, they are going to be counted as the people who are doing this deed as well. So that brought them, because they did not do the thing, but they were there to support with their presence to the people and telling that okay, you go and do, we are behind you. So that brought them back into the hellfire. And we used to deny the day of judgment. So this is the most important point. The 4 points are mentioned. This is the 5th point, that is the most important point that brought them into the hellfire, that they said that we did not believe in the day of judgment or resurrection. That's what they used to say, that how do you think that after we die, our parts are all distributed and they are going to be complete. Somebody is down in the water, their parts are eaten by the fish and so on and so forth. How can we all be gathered together? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, who has made you first time from the sand, Adam alayhi salam? Don't you think he can remake you again? If you look at anybody who is manufacturing a good, the first time is most difficult. Then he has to plan, then he has to add the ingredient, proper proportion and things like that, and he has to write down a formula, a recipe of what he's doing. But once he manufactures that thing, the second manufacture is easy because it's written down all the steps. The next thing is, I'm going to do this, and this is going to come. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, who made you the first time? Do you think it's difficult for me to make you the second time? It will be easier for anybody of you to make for the second time. So why are you doubting that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to make you for the second time? So they denied that there is going to be a day of judgment. So for us also is very important. We should not just ignore day of judgment. We should, no, we have done so many salah, we have done so many umrah or hajj, or we are coming to do the prayers, we do the zikr, and we do the jahannam is for somebody else. No, we have to think, fear Allah, that could be that we might do some bad deed and then we will be thrown into the hellfire. Umar radiallahu ta'ala, Abu Bakr Siddiq, one of them, he said that if I was given the news that everybody is going to enter paradise after the prophets except one man, I will fear that it could be me, that I am fearful from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so much. And then he said that if I hear that everybody is going to be thrown into the hellfire except one human being, then I will think that it will be me, because I have got so much affection and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He is Ghafurur Rahim, He is going to make me enter paradise. So this is, you have to have fear and also the hope, the highest hope and highest fear amongst yourself. So this is, and we denied the day of judgment, so we should not think of this and deny. This will be one way of denying judgment, that we are not fearing the day of judgment. They say, oh, the day of judgment will be for somebody else, not for us. That means, in essence, you are denying the day of judgment. That's not, you are not going to be there. So this is not going to affect you. No, you have to worry that it's going to affect us. And we used to deny that till death, which is certain, came to us. Now, from ayah number 48, I'll just recite to the end and then I'll give the translation. فَمَا تَنْهُ شَفَاعَةُ الشَّافِعِينَ فَمَا لَهُمْ عَنِ التَّذْكِرَةِ الْمُعْرِضِينَ كَأَنَّهُمْ حُمُرٌ مُسْتَنفِرَةٌ فَرَّتْ مِنْ قَسْوَرَةٍ بَلْ يُرِيدُ كُلُّ امْرِئٍ مِّنْهُمْ أَن يُؤْتَىٰ صُحُفٌ مُّنَشَّرَةٌ كَلَّا بَل لَّا يَخَافُونَ الْآخِرَةَ كَلَّا إِنَّهُ تَذْكِرَةٌ مَنْ شَاءَ ذَكَرَهُ وَمَا يَذْكُرُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ وَأَهْلُ التَّقْوَىٰ أَهْلُ الْمَغْفِرَةِ. So the mediations of mediators will not be of benefit to them. Shafaat is there, but for the infidels and the people, the disbelievers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned that they are not going to receive the shafa. And Rasulullah is prevented from making shafa to the disbelievers. Even for his uncle, he said that he can't be accepted. And Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul, the son came and do shafaat for my father, do for maghfirah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbid. Rasulullah said that you cannot ask for forgiveness for the person who died as a mushrik and munafiq. But the shafaat is going to be there. The shafaat is going to be from Anbiya, from Malaika, from pious people, from the Huffaz, from the people whose Hajj was accepted as Hajj Mabrur. Hajj Mabrur, somebody's Hajj is accepted as a Hajj Mabrur. They are going to do the shafa of 40 families, not 40 people, 40 families who have entered the hellfire. And that is to show honor to these people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could himself be brought those people from the hellfire to the him. But no, he wants to show honor of these people on the day of judgment, that the people who are suffering in hellfire say, okay, these and these and these families, you can ask for shafa and I will accept your shafa. And then they are going to go near the hell and they are told, the angels, so and so and so and so, these families have to be brought home. So they will be brought in front, and behind this person who is doing the shafa, those 40 families will walk. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give permission to take them with you enter the heaven. So can you imagine those people who are suffering in the hellfire, and this person is taking them into enter the paradise? How grateful they will be to him. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is honoring these people, to show that because of your shafa, these going to happen, things are going to happen. So there is shafa, and inshallah shafaat will be there. We are looking forward for the shafa of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are going to look forward for us to drink the water from the Kawthar given by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from his hand to us directly, inshallah. And this is what is going to, وَلَا تَمْنُنْ تَسْتَكْثِرْ, and do not best of yours with him. And finally, this, بَلْ يُرِيدُ كُلِّ أُمْرٍ مِّنْهُمْ يُؤْتَى, no, every man from among them desired that he should be given open pages. When Rasulullah says that this is the guidance coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they say, come on, show us in the form of a book.
We want to see the angels bring a book and hand over to you, saying that this is the book from God, then we will accept you as a prophet. Apart from that, if you say anything, we are not going to say. And if you look in ayah number 124 in Surah In'am, that is chapter 6, and Surah Asr, that is chapter 17, ayah number 93, these are the topics, these are the points they mentioned to Rasulullah, bring us some book or pages from the heaven, we'll accept. And same, these two places you can refer to say what they were telling to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sufa munashara, kalla balla yakhafuna al-akhirah. No, they do not fear the hereafter. If they fear the hereafter, they would have accepted your deen. Kalla innahu tazkira. No, it is certainly a reminder. This is a reminder for each and every person, all the human beings. Faman sha'a zakara. So whoever wills may mind it and accept it. And the last ayah is very, very important. وَمَا يَذْكُرُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ هُوَ أَهْلُ التَّقْوَى أَوْ أَهْلُ الْمَغْفِرَةِ. And they do not mind unless Allah wills. He is worthy to be feared and capable to be protectively forgiving. This is very important ayah for us to remember, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He has the right to be feared. It is His right that we should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also at the same time, we should hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafurur Rahim. The maghfirah and raham will come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Taqwa, we discussed taqwa in some other time, and it's a big topic. To fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The fear should be in your heart. What is taqwa means? To be aware of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we are driving 50 miles speed, suddenly the 30 miles sign comes, you slow down. Why are you slowing down? Because you think there is somebody watching your speed and you are going to be fine. What about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He is looking at us 24 hours of our life. Are you not fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He is ever watchful over us. So taqwa is that, to be aware of the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is Ghafurur Rahim, and He has the absolute power to forgive. This thing which is very, very important for us to remember. It doesn't matter what deeds we do, at the end we should think that we are going to enter paradise because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's rahmah. This is one of the hadiths Rasulullah mentioned. Nobody is going to enter paradise except with the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of the Sahabi with a little bit of fear asked, what about you, Rasulullah? You are a human being. He said, with me also, I am going to enter the paradise only because of rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if Rasulullah is saying like this, what is our position? Now, I want to clear one point here. So why do we do good deeds? Why is the virtues going to be of helpful for us? I'm going to take an example. Whoever is traveling, you have got a passport. You have to have a visa to enter a country. Yes? But once you enter the country, without visa you cannot enter. It is the visa that is rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enter the paradise. But once you enter the country, you come out, somebody is looking for a taxi, somebody is looking for a bus, somebody is looking for somebody to collect him. But somebody who is very important, limousines are there standing there. As soon as the person comes out of the visa section, he enters the limousine, he is taken to a big mansion. Okay, so your virtues will be counted after you enter the paradise. The palaces of the Jannah is given to be given according to the good deeds they have done. So each and every person's Jannah will be different from the other. And you have to have this in your mind, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafurur Rahim. Don't look at the actions of somebody who is inferior to you, doing some sorts of things, and they say, okay, this person is not going to enter paradise. As soon as he has become a Muslim, he has accepted Islam, don't look down towards a fellow Muslim. Put a straight line and say, the position of all the Muslims is above this line, and my position is below this line.
You should have that sort of feeling. I'm telling you this because there was a person in Bani Israel. His name was Zulkifl. It's mentioned in Al-Quran. Name is mentioned. This person was the worst person of that time. Very wealthy and involved in all sorts of bad activities. He used to pay to have a girl brought every night to him, and he used to pay. One time it happened, one of the girl was brought, and then he said, okay, prepare yourself, I'm coming. Then when he went into the room, he didn't prepare herself, and he was sitting crying. He said, what's the problem? You're not ready? He said, no, I'm not the type of person you wanted to have your time spent. I'm of a very noble family, but we went through calamities. Everything we lost in our family. We have been hungry for 3 days, or all family members have no food at all. Then when this announcement came that somebody is looking for a girl who is going to be given money, and we are looking for something to come so that we can buy food. And I sacrificed myself. People, my family were saying, don't go, but I said, how can we continue being hungry? I'll go and sell myself to get money for that. So I am fearful of my Lord that I have chosen to sell my body to get food. I'm worried about what is going to happen to me. He listened, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened his heart. Never he used to hear these type of things. And when he heard the detail of this story, tears came to his eyes. And he had the packet of money with him, which he was going to do after finishing the act. He came to her saying that, look, I'm going to give you afterwards. This is yours. Go with respect from my house. He held her hand, took her outside the door, and he said, buy food and feed your family. Go away. He came back. He prostrated. And he cried. He said, what I have spent all my life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please forgive me. This girl opened my eyes. She opened my heart. How bad I was. I am asking for forgiveness. I promise I will never do anything wrong in my life after this. And he promised, and this promise was with full confidence, with his heart. That night he slept and he died in his sleep. He died in his sleep. Next morning it was announced that so much people had heard that he's such a wealthy and bad man has died, and everybody was so, oh, he died. But suddenly Musa Islam was told that inform your ummah, whoever attends his funeral, all the past sins of that person will be forgiven. So once the news spread, his funeral was taken, and the entire population of Musa Islam came and performed Salatul Janazah. So this is, I'm telling you that don't look down about anybody who is doing bad deeds. Our job is to convey, stop them from doing, but our job is not to change them. Our job is to convey, but the changing comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maulana Tariq Jamil said, I was not to say, in the Jamaat he went and he gave this lecture. He said that one of his student was living next door to a woman who was supplying the girls in Pakistan for prostitution. And his son, he got his cassette and he started playing his cassette in the house. And this woman was going up and down, and she was listening. Then he said, mention about this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's rahmah is that when you make tawbah, he accepts tawbah. He loves people making tawbah. And once he accepts the tawbah, all the sins are forgiven. And that person becomes pure from as if he's born on that day. And she was listening, coming up and down. And she said, who is this person? He said, he's the teacher of the person who lives next door. He said, I want to meet that person. She went and said, who is this person who says that? Says so and so. I want to meet him. Then she went and with He said that whatever you have said, is it true? He says 100% true. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you make tawbah, Allah accepts your tawbah, He forgives. If your tawbah is 100% pure, He accepts and all your past sins are forgiven. So he said that, you be witness, I am doing tawbah from this day onwards. I'm not going to get involved in bad activities. I'm going to try myself to be pure and 100% obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Month of Ramadan comes. She went to Taraweeh. And during the Taraweeh, she died when she was doing the sujood. And people came and told that this person who was doing all these things during her lifetime, this has happened. And from Sahih Bukhari, I'm going to mention one hadith everybody knows. A person who killed 99 people. He went to a scholar saying that, can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept my tawbah? I have killed 100 people, 99 people. He said, no, you have killed 99 people? Never be forgiven. He said, okay, I'll make it 100, I'll kill you. And he killed the scholar. And afterward he came and cried and said, what can I do? I can never enter paradise. I'll be thrown into the hellfire. People said that there is a couple of more scholars go and ask them. He went on and then they were very good scholars. Listened patiently. And one of them said that, I'm hopeful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to forgive, but you have to go and do your tawbah in company of pious people. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts their dua. If you go and stay with the pious people and ask them to make dua for you, and you also make dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts their duas. So he went to meet those people, and in the middle of his journey, he died. Now the angels are coming. The angels from the one who are going to torture and give punishment, and the angels from the Jannah who is going to give him good news. They both came and said, no, this person was bad. But they said that his intention was to go and to do tawbah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept tawbah. And then there was, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent an angel in the form of a human being, and he came and he said, what are you fighting? They said, no, we thought we are going to take the soul. And these people say that we are going to stay. They said that, what was the problem? They said, no, this person was going to do the tawbah. He said, okay, I will give you a solution. Make the distance from the place he started and the distance where these pious people are there, and see if this place is nearer to him, the angels from the Jahannam is going to take his soul. But if his body is near to the place where he is going to go for tawbah, if he is near to that place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward him and accept his tawbah. And at that time, this is a hadith in Sahih Bukhari. He says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the point which was nearer to the place where he came from, moved it, which became nearer to the place he was going. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave him, accepted his tawbah, and he was raised by the angels who are going to come take him to the paradise. So this is one thing, this is the point for us to remember, is that never look down on a fellow Muslim. Doesn't matter what he's doing, our job is to do Amar bil Maruf, Nahi anil Munkar. Our job is to convey. Even to the Prophet ﷺ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, your job is to convey. You are not the judge of the day of judgment. You are not the one who is going to decide who is going to Jahannam and who is going to Jannah. That is the decision with me, not you. Your job is just to convey. So this is, our job is to stop people who are doing wrong things, to say that, please don't do this, this is going to be harmful. You should not be disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Worship Him, accept whatever guidance He is saying. But do not think that you have got the right to tell them that you are going to Jahannam, you are Jahannami. No, nobody should say that. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever we have said and whatever we have heard, make them to enter our heart. Make us 100% purified with this. Make all these things we are hearing and Al-Quran Al-Kareem to have faith in each and every word and show it by our actions
Ameen.
and make us not only to practice it, but to convey to others. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the humiliation of the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the nama amal on our right hand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala select us to be the people who are going to be in the shade of arsh on the day of judgment.
Ameen.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us enter paradise without being asked any question.
Ameen.
Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.